The reason I sound like this being like whispery and stuff, is because it's 2:23 a.m. Yeah. Anyway, on to the video. So, this is actually the second script to this video. The first one was made out of genuine and pure rage and anger driven by the new YouTube setting to allow your videos to be trained by AI. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I wrote that and said that with a big ol' grin on my face. No, I still abhor that. But now I'm tackling the topic with a much more reasonable approach, and not one driven by emotions. Go watch AKA 2. I will not, however, make the claim that this video will be absolutely vacant of any outburst, as that very well may happen. The reason I'm redoing this video is because of a mini conversation I had with my friends. It started out alright, we were just talking about what we use Pinterest for. I said that I mainly used it for drawing references and such, then exclaimed my annoyance that half the time my feed is AI slop. My friend then said that he doesn't mind AI generated stuff. He called it art, but I refused to. And he actually thinks it can be cool. To his credit, he did say that he likes human-made actual art more and thinks it's better, which it is without a doubt. That definitely tickled the anger bells in my mind, especially when he asked why I dislike it after voicing my feelings. Well, my feelings against it. I kinda just gave a half answer and tried to change the subject since this is a topic I'm very passionate about, and I didn't want to direct that passion towards him and make things awkward. And thus, the script is born. Now, in the off chance he watched this, first off, sup. Secondly, to try and paint a better picture of why AI-generated garbage is so abhorrent, I will be using the example of drums rather than drawings or voice acting. So, picture this. You really love to drum. Like, it's your #1 passion. It's your dream to be a professional drummer when you're older, and drumming just gives you the purest form of joy. And sure, you're not the best right now, but hey, you're still pretty good. Then, turns out that they started to make robots that can drum. On the surface level, that's kinda neat. But once you start to take a closer look at things, you find out that the robots are actually being trained off of other drummers' drum lines, without their knowledge nor consent. Alright, that's pretty yucky. As time goes on, you see more and more robots playing these drum lines rather than actual people. What's worse, all the comments are saying stuff like, "Wow, that's really good," or "Dang, those fills were sick." But you're a drummer. You can tell when something isn't quite right. These drum lines aren't quite right. You can tell that the beat is a little sloppy. The rolls seem to drag a little. The fills have one too many hits, maybe even sometimes two. You can just tell that it's not a good drum line, not at all. But the people that don't drum can't. It's kind of frustrating. What's more frustrating? These bad drum lines are being used in projects. They're being used for video games, ads, even some TV shows and movies. You can't believe that these businesses are actually advocating for the use of this clearly subpar trash and not hiring the actual human professionals that have worked their whole lives to drum, just like you yourself are. And now, it's gotten to a point where these robot drummers are all over the place. There are channels and pages dedicated to nothing but these robots that have millions upon millions of views. It's starting to get a little discouraging. I mean, it looks like we're heading straight towards a future where companies won't even hire any musicians since these robots are passable to the untrained ear. Why should you bother when there is no job to be had? When now, whenever you think of your dream, you can't help but think about how depressing it is that this form of art that you love so much is losing all sense of creativity and originality. When you're paranoid about whether a drumline is authentic or made by a robot, it just makes you want to give up. To make things worse, imagine your drumming idol suddenly passes away at a, relatively young age. when you know they had so much left in them. I mean, if not for them, you wouldn't even have started drumming in the first place. You search the internet for tributes to this drummer, and what do you see? Robots are attempting to play their drum lines. Sure, to anyone outside of the drumming space, it seems like a nice little tribute, but to you? You can tell that this was made by the robots. You can hear that it vaguely resembles their drum line, but you know for a fact the robots did this. The beats are off. Their signature fills that were so recognizable to you and everyone in the drum space were ruined by the robot's inability to properly perform any fills, let alone such meaningful ones. Your sadness of their passing turns into rage and disgust towards not just the robots, but the people that made them attempt those drum lines. How dare they? How dare they dishonor the legacy of this drumming legend by having a robot do cheap and poor imitations of their work? What's worse? The robot slop is getting more attention than these actual drummers that took time from their pain and mourning to do these proper tributes. Even the ones who aren't as great, like yourself, manage to go all out and break through your drumming limits just to honor this legend. And yet the robots are the ones that are noticed. Don't you see how horrible that is? How grotesque and awful that is? That is what's going on with these AI-generated images. They aren't artworks, they're sentences given to a robot so that it can steal off of proper artist's work and produce something that doesn't even look good. So when I put that stick figure in the thumbnail and said it was better than AI-generated filth, I truly meant it. AI can be used in such better ways. Like how they used it for Spider-Verse. In Spider-Verse, they had an AI go through all the frames and add the dots, so that the animators could work on the more important stuff and save time. AI should be used to assist, not replace. But because AI is so much cheaper than actual humans that dedicate their entire souls to their craft, companies will just go for that instead. Whether it be drawing, drumming, voice acting, video game making, writing, anything. The way AI is being used is, in full sincerity, killing creativity. It's just so depressing to witness unfold in real time. And I hate it. I hate it more than some people I used to know. There won't be anything I hate more. I hate it. And you should too. Sup nerds, how's it going? This is a shorter video, but it got the point across. And you know, it's kind of I still don't know if I'll upload this, you know, before the new year or if I'll upload it next year, I guess. We'll see. But it's definitely a video that I personally needed to make. I just needed to get my piece out there, which it's not anything new about, like, it's not anything new towards AI, but it really just needs to be said. Like, it's just bad. It's bad. But yeah, that's all I got. Peace out, nerds. Stay dope.